Good morning. Thank God it's another beautiful Thursday morning on your program, Morning Delight on Glorious Vision Television. My name is Akinlabi Toluwalashe. So on Morning Delight, you can call in to contribute on whatever topics we are discussing, and you can also drop your comments on our social media platform. I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me beautiful lady and gentlemen. I have Abiodun, John, and Jephthah. Good morning, lady and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
We are fine.
Mr. Sanusi, are you not fine? Oh, John, are you not fine?
Whichever one. I'm fine. Thank God. Thank God. Because this morning coming was on a smooth ride. Yeah.
Oh, today is Thursday.
No, it's not about Thursday, but it's about the construction work going on at Tedolagis. I think that at that side, they have been able to move the barricades from the road, so the road was very, very, very free.
That's good.
When I was coming out, when I consulted the Google, the Google was telling me, okay, about 50-minute drive. On a good day, it should be just 7 minutes from my side to this place if there's no traffic, and then if it's just a straight drive. So getting to where the usual odor do build up, so the Google just notified me that my route is cleared. They just notified me my route is cleared, and before I could say anything, we already at Baga, and from that axis end down to this place, aside the queues for fuel and other filling stations that flowed into the major road. So aside that, there was no traffic, no anything traffic, just coming down straight to the place. So this morning it was a smooth ride. I got here relatively, I think 7:36 as against 8:30 to 9 that we come in. And last night, going home, it was a hell. We spent almost 2 hours plus in traffic. When we were leaving at around 6, we left here, myself and one of my boss around here, and we got to 7-Up. The traffic is already flowing back into 7-Up. So we have to take another route. We went through Secretariats. Getting there, we had standstill for almost 1 hour. Google led us to another place. We went there again, we have standstill for another hour. It was another experience. So we got very, very late and tired yesterday because of the traffic. The fuel queues was what led to the traffic. So
Sorry for that.
Tired one last night, and the night was so short. The night was so short. The weather. The heat is much. No power. No, everywhere. So it was, let me not say it's a frustrating night. But we thank God we are alive again. We are here.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. So did you experience, you said the road there was free this morning?
Yes, relatively, I was even surprised, very surprised. I was even thinking that I might not be able to meet you, but within 15 minutes out. So, and it's been a while you met me here now. But today you met me here.
Yes. It's true.
So, it shows that the place is so going. But, situation of the country, Nigeria is a seasonal film. Every day new things happen, we just don't understand what is happening. But let's be hopeful. Let's be hopeful that things will get better, because the basic amenities that people should have, power, water,
good
roads, we don't have any of them. We are not asking for too much. We are not saying we should be paying everybody free salary, maybe like they do in Qatar or anything. No, that is not what we are asking. Just basic things. We should be able to, after the stress of the hold up, go home. You see power, you see light, you put on your fan, at least breeze will blow you. But we don't even have them.
That's another energy on its own. When you get home and you have power.
So you get home, no power, there is heat, there is no money there is no fear self. If you even have the money, you cannot buy.
You cannot even purchase the food.
So it's just bad.
This is Nigeria. Sorry.
Ojojúmọ́ Nigeria.
I don't know that. Have you done?
Thank God for life. January is packing up little by little. Today is 26. We bless God. There's no power. There's no fear. Somebody was pricing black market of 5 liters in front of me. The person selling me said 2,000 naira. And I just want them to buy that one. How many days will you use it to?
How many liters? How many liters? 5 liters, 2,000 naira.
That is just once, unless you want to just use it for 2 hours and off it.
Even the fuel price, in the next few months, they will remove the subsidy. So I heard some people discussing when I was coming that the fuel is now 300, is now, and one man was telling me that price is still little, as in the price is still not
fair.
So much. It's still fair, because in the next few months, when the subsidy is removed, then the price of the fuel will go higher. And we don't even know how much we'll be purchasing it then. We don't know. Maybe close to 1,000 naira. We don't know yet.
The issue is, if you are increasing all these things and there is value for work, no problem.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
We have some people, some of us have been stuck in the same salary for over 5 years, over 6 years. And the time that you start paying,
despite the increase in inflation,
yes, there's inflation. The time you start paying that salary, maybe fare was still 80 something. That time now it's 300. We are going to 400, 500, and the salary has not increased. So that is the problem. There's no value for work in Nigeria. That's why you see people wanting to go.
Yes.
When they travel, at least they are going to do menial job. Some do cleaning, some do cashier, some
they get paid per hour.
Yes, but there's value for that work.
So we were talking
value
about
for the work.
Talking about people who travel out, who relocate, and all. I say, see, it is not about the relocation. It's about that the standard of living is okay. So that's everything is there.
Basic
so you don't even mind when you have those things.
You don't need to stress yourself on
cushion
the road.
on. You can move on with whatever little you have. But when the standard of living is even something not to write about,
yes,
you don't even have enough to even.
That's why you see people here.
So
they even sell. You see somebody tend to be living well here, but sells his car, his Highlanders, properties, and travel. And you wonder why is these people traveling out for? But you know, he has a plan that there's value for work, and there. The transportation system is working. So you don't even need a car. You can get a train, and you get to where you are going within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's life is just easy. And these people don't even have the much resources that this country has. Those people, they don't have it.
We are not managing as well. All right, guys, sorry. God will help us in this country.
We are always praying.
Nothing to throw back. This is Thursday. Let's leave country.
Abio.
Has anything to throw back?
I thought of this thing. I remembered something like 14 years ago. I was just thinking about it this morning when I was in the kitchen, and I was just smiling. That, you know, there are times that there are this will I say grammar or a particular English word that you don't understand, and somebody will just ask you, and that person needs an answer, and you don't know how to answer. Your head will be thinking, what should I say? What should I say? It has happened to me before. So I went to interview House of Rep aspirants like 14 years ago, and she just asked me, what's your name? I said, Toluwa Lashe. Said, hey, are you from Badagry? I said, no, I'm from Osun State. And she said, how many years have you been staying here? I said, about 9 years. I said, Tolu, I know you have reservation for Badagrams.
Badagrams.
What are your reservations? Again.
Looking for reservation.
Like, I was looking for the meaning of reservation. And I was like, I don't know. Hey, you mean you don't have reservation for us? I said, yes. I don't know the meaning of reservation. I don't know the meaning.
In that context.
In that context. Yeah. You understand? You know, normal reservation, like you are reserving something. But in that context, I don't understand. So I was like, They might say, hey, you're lying. I'm very sure you have reservation for us. So I was just praying that this woman will forget reservation, and let's continue. Immediately I left that place. I went to check the meaning of reservation. Oh, I said, can you imagine reservation? So I was just remembering this one. I was just smiling. That there are some words that somebody will ask you, you don't really understand the meaning, and the person will want you to give an answer. What will you do? You know, try to like what I did.
It happens. It happens. At least before we maybe have other share our other thoughts if we have. I want to just tell people that Tolu Alashe is Agba reporter, Agba broadcaster. 14 years ago, new. It's not today. So
today.
I mean, I double the salary. Well,
Can you imagine?
Okay.
Thank you.
The message is delivered.
Thank you.
All right. I was in the secondary school. I remember them. One of our prefect. I was, as student. I was in GS3, I guess. So I used to read novels so well. So the labor prefect or something, a lady, she should be labor prefect or something. So she was trying to pass through the corridor, and she said, "Excuse me." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Quite excused." My sister, you know what's that thing doing? Are you telling me to keep quiet? That is a prefect.
That's the interpretation.
I said, "Quite excused."
You
are well excused.
Are you telling me to keep quiet? She heard me. She called the head boy.
Hey.
That is, I can remember him very well. We used to call it Bonbonski. He's friend of my elder brother and everything. Called the prefect, even some of the teachers. So she was about flogging me. They have powers there to flog. So they didn't even just ask her what even happened to this boy, and she said it. And everybody started laughing. She was embarrassed, like, this young man did not insult you now.
Hey.
Did not
She
insult
only
you.
said you're free to go.
So one of our friends that don't want to downgrade her in presence of a junior student had to just draw her aside and say, come, let me show you something. That was how she left it. And most times I think about it like quiet excuse. The film they play for my head, and you imagine these are people who are our preferred and we look up to little things like that.
One of those things then in secondary school is that, because you want to be a grammarian and you want to improve on your English, one thing that everybody will always do is that you carry about your dictionary. You read your dictionary. You glue to your dictionary as if it's one of your textbooks. You are piling up grammars and all those things. So it makes secondary school life interesting.
And if you can even say some of those words, you feel top of the world.
What are you not talking?
When you enter and say,
you want to bring a new.
I used to do it when I go to junior class. Maintain absolute decorum. I don't feel absolute tranquility. I think in big English.
Guys, let's check what we have on our newspaper page. We don't have much time. I have the Punch newspaper. FG budgets 1.2 trillion naira to service CBN loans. FG budget 1.2 trillion naira to service CBN loans. The story is on page 20. Banks ration new notes. Emefiele shuns reps. The story is on page 19. Voting article will be mistake, says whistleblower. We don't know who the whistleblower is. We can read the story on page 14. Recent crisis aimed at stopping me, as from Tinubu, says Naira redesign fuel scarcity designed to scuttle poll. Tinubu trying to blackmail Buhari, that's from Atiku campaign. Allegations unfair, fuel crisis perennial, says marketer. You can read the stories on page 2. Suspense as tribunal decides Adeleke Oyetola suit Friday. Stories on page 7. Ikpeazu Ohaneze mourn Abia PDP governorship candidates. You can read that story on page 8. Parties back US visa ban on election riggers. You can read the story on page 13. On duty hike. Used vehicle imports fall by 40%. The story is on page 11. And there's a photo news of Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo inspecting ongoing projects at Nigerian Navy ship Kora NNS Beecroft yesterday. That's all from the Punch newspaper.
I have remained the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and the major headlines at Vanguard Economic Discourse. How to fight inflation by NESC, OPS, other stakeholders. Warn against over-reliance on monetary policy instruments. Points way forward on inflation growth. Only drastic measures will make the difference in 2023. Next, CBN will deploy available tools to tackle inflation. Emefiele. Multiple forex rates must be eliminated. Nasima. Government agencies tout frustrating manufacturers. Man. Fiscal measure must complement monetary policy. Emerging Africa capital. Economy haunted by many leakages. Awoshika. You can find all these stories on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. Glamour. Awoshika chair Vanguard Personality of the Year award as Dangote orders step forth for glance. You can find the story on page 10. Fuel scarcity. Naira redesign. Plots to sabotage polls. Tinubu. You can find the story on page 10. Over 70 killed in Nasarawa, Niger airstrike explosion. You can find the story on page 6. Polls. US announces visa ban on Nigerian undermining democracy. You can find the story on page 33. NJC OK's appointment of 84 new judges, 9 heads of courts. You can find the story on page 8. Reps to security agencies. Arrest oil marketer behind fuel scarcity. You can find the story on page 9. And the picture story is about the Vanguard, something they did yesterday at Victoria Island. And also Babajide Sanwo-Olu commissioning of the Besga lubricant plant in Apapa yesterday. And that's all from the Vanguard newspaper.
All right.
All right, I have Nigerian Tribune, and the headline says on the fuel scarcity, Naira redesign, ploy to sabotage election. That is by Tinubu. Says Tinubu shedding crocodile tears, attacking Buhari won't save failing campaign by PDP. And presidency knocks Yakasia says Buhari supporting Tinubu. Those stories are on page 8. All right. Other story says Ikone, Abia PDP governorship candidate dies. Is dead a big blow. We will abide by law in replacing him, says PDP. How his death will impact G5 on page 3. Unidentified helicopter kills scores in Nasarawa on page 28. U.S. imposes visa restrictions on Nigerian, undermining democracy. U.S. imposes visa restrictions on Nigerians, undermining democracy on page 3. All right, another story says COVID-19 has been on increase since December 2022. WHO raises the alarm. WHO, who raises the alarm on page 11. And again, gunmen attack checkpoint, kill 2 policemen, VIO personnel in Imo on page 28. And we have Why I Dumped APC by Bindo on page 19. Hoodlums chase out Funke Akindele from Lagos market. Jandor expresses worry over incessant attack on campaign train on page 19. I had that this morning,
I had that too.
and that is not too good for the election that is coming up in about a month's time now. So we are counting down to the election, and if we are experiencing this now, what would we have on that day? How would that day look like? And that is one of my worry, especially on security. That could scare people away from voting, and that could, because everybody wants to keep safe. Everyone will be safe. Everybody don't want to die, like just like that, because it is worrisome. You know, I think last week I saw a video of the convoy of Atiku, the presidential candidate of PDP, being attacked as well in Ogun State. So I just pray that all these things will be checked on time. Okay, or how other story that says, we will never allow aviation workers strike again, by FG on page 19. The Nigeria at risk of incurring additional 1.3 trillion naira debt as Senate fails to pass 22.7 trillion naira ways and means bill. That's on page 4 of Nigeria Tribune, and I think that is all I have here this morning.
All right, thank you guys for that. We want to go on a short break now. When we return, the program continues. Please stay with us, go nowhere.
Happy birthday. Your birthday is the anniversary of your birth. It is an expression of thanks to God for being born and still being alive. It comes around once a year. So, is your birthday coming up soon and you want to show the world you have yet another chance to fulfill your unique mission? Or maybe you want to celebrate the birth of your parent, husband, wife, children, pastor, friends, or loved ones? Come, get a slot on Birthday Diary. Birthday Diary, a segment on this channel specially designed to celebrate birthday anniversaries. To book a slot, call 0902-585-7989, 0803-446-7573. Birthday Diary on Glorious Vision Television. It's your turn to be celebrated. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
This is to notify the general members of the church that the following movement and unit badges are available for sales: Men's Movement, Women's Movement, Witnesses Movement, Choir and Ministers badges at a sum of 1,000 naira each. To get any of these badges, visit the Apostolic Pentecostal Bookstore at the Apostolic Church Nigeria Lona International Convention Grounds, Oworonshoki Ibadan Expressway, or Lonoda K2 Lagos. For inquiries, call Pastor Ukwa on 0803-717-5864. Come get your badges. Get identified with your people.
Happy birthday. Your birthday is the anniversary of your birth. It is an expression of thanks to God for being born and still being alive. It comes around once a year. So, is your birthday coming up soon and you want to show the world you have yet another chance to fulfill your unique mission? Or maybe you want to celebrate the birth of your parent, husband, wife, children, pastor, friends, or loved ones? Come, get a slot on Birthday Diary. Birthday Diary, a segment on this channel specially designed to celebrate birthday anniversaries. To book a slot, call 0902.
Thanks for staying with us. It is still Morning Delights on Glorious Vision Television. So, to our discussion for today, we saw a picture and video of a lady that was being arrested in Cameroon. We heard that she gave her son tramadol so that the baby could sleep, and then she went clubbing. We are not really talking about the heart of going clubbing and all that, but we just want to talk about parenting. So today we have a lot of parents that are not really parenting their children well. They are not really doing their duties as parents. That's where we want to focus our discussion. And we have on the phone Mrs. Gbemi Agbato. She's the General Coordinator of Solid Foundation, the ministry that deals with teenagers, that helps teenagers to be godly influencers. I will be doing the interview via the phone. Good morning, ma.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone at the studio.
Thank you, ma.
Good morning.
Yeah. So I believe you've seen the picture or the video of the lady and the baby that I just talked about, ma.
Yes, I did.
All right.
Thank you. I saw the picture, not video though. I saw the picture.
All right, ma. So when you saw that, when you heard about the news and when you saw the picture, what came to your mind, man? I want to get your reaction.
Okay. The first thing that came to my mind, of course, the shock that one could do that to one's child. But taking time to think over it over time, I just realized that, okay, this is another mother, like many other mothers and parents, who does not understand her identity as a mother and her job description as a mother. She does not. She doesn't even know that as a mother, like many people they've gone into marriage and everybody expects that after marriage you're supposed to have children.
Yes.
We don't count the cost. We don't even understand the kind of what we're getting into as parents. We don't understand our identity that after being a wife, then you want to be a parent. There are certain things you need to understand. You need to understand your job description, which is coming from the one who has given you those children as gifts. We don't know that we are watchmen as parents. We don't know we are risk takers and risk bearers. We don't know we are builders, we are teachers, we are investors. And based on this, there's this identity. We don't know that parenting is about being present. And based on this identity, we don't understand our job description, that we are supposed to nurture, we're supposed to protect, we're supposed to love, oversee, teach. And in terms of our love should be sacrificial, should be a lot of denial, unconditional love. Like this time around, it's easy to condemn happening, but some of us have done both things. I don't know whether question will lead me there as we talk. That this love may involve being sacrificial, putting the children above you, especially in the formative years when they're very young. We don't know we're supposed to train, we don't know we're not supposed to be there for them. So that's what came to my mind. Also, a parent, a mother that did not really understand exactly what she has signed for by being a mother. And she saw the child as a distraction, she saw the child as an obstacle to our own enjoyment, to our own pleasure. And it's very easy for us to condemn her. Some of us are doing the same thing. Some of us see our children as distractions to our career development, to our entertainment, to what we want to do. We may not be giving them chapter, but we're giving them what's going on. As I said, if questions come up, I have a lot that pinned down that they want to share. So I don't know how long I have.
All right, Ma. You've just told us what it means to be a parent, what parenting entails. So looking at the picture of the lady, it shows that she's a young mother. So are we going to blame her for this, or do we blame some people who could be around her, who could have helped her to become a good parent?
Thank you very much for that question. I wouldn't say blame. I think there's a gap. There's a gap we need to fill. And we need to step in quickly. You see, we teach, we train people to become good wives, to become good husbands, to become good home managers. But there's no place that we have a formal training of how to be a good parent according to God's dictates, abiding by God's principles. There's no place where that is, you understand, like, what it really means to be a parent, So for me, that's a gap, that's a huge gap. And like I said, knowing that she's young, not have, in bad a lot. And I don't know her background, we don't know a lot about the story, because sometimes when you understand where someone is coming from, you can actually understand the action that the person is portraying and showing for. So maybe if I have an opportunity to talk to such lady, if I'm able to understand where she's coming from, understand. So, it might not be blamed like that. Maybe there's no support system. Maybe there's no husband.
Maybe.
Maybe she's a single mother and all that. To boil down the fact that something has gone on somewhere.
All right. Thank you, ma.
All right, ma. I want to ask, in this 21st century and parents that we are 21st century parents, how do we make ourselves a good parent in this 21st century? Because if you look at the differences from the old ways our parents brought us up with the new parenting that we're having now, can you tell us the differences and how can you be a better parent as in 21st century?
How can we be a better parent? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, in this 21st century, the society that we have.
Okay, the 21st century, how can we be a good parent? Okay, now please, allow me, before I go on to that, let me just quickly, because it's very easy for us to condemn and judge our actions. This lady, a lot of us will say she's very wicked, she's highly irresponsible mother, useless mother. How could she have done this? She's not fit to be a mother. We are so fast. How could she give her child trauma? I'm sure probably not to kill the child, just to get the child out of the way
Yes.
of enjoyment, which is the clubbing. I would like to shock us this morning that many of us parents, before we even go to how to be good parents, so that even from this we'll learn how to be good parents from what I'm discussing now, because I'm going to be bringing out examples, especially this 21st century. And I would like to shock us that many of us parents, mothers, have done exactly what she did. And we're still doing it. Some people will say, what she's talking about, I've never given my child for down. No, let's look at the story again. She gave her child tramadol for a selfish reason. So that she can put her own gain above the child's needs. How many of us parents today have put our career development above our child's needs? We may not be Panadol. And in terms of that, the kind of support system we put up for our children, their life is tramadol. Many of us did not do any background check. When I talk about support system, I'm talking about the house that we bring in, the teachers, the school we put our children, the drivers, for those of us who have luxury, the kind of people we put them to help us nurture and take care of our children while they are away. Like I've spoken to my darling sister many times, because I do this, I've been doing this for over a year. I'm not talking about American stories. I'm talking about Nigerian stories, even in this 21st century. I've seen siblings who were sleeping with themselves, having sex with themselves. They got introduced to that by house help. So that's the kind of tramadol. The parents have given them the kind of tramadol because you've killed something. They will not be touched physically. Because when I met that child, she was totally messed up. She was crying, and meanwhile, you say she wasn't doing well in school. So we are condemning this lady. Yes, it's that out there that was not, checked. But the kind of tramadol, you've killed something in that child, in your children, rather, because they were both sleeping with each other, they were having sex. I met a boy. The father gave him a phone at the age of 10 without restriction. That's the kind of tramadol also. We're giving our children devices. We're giving them iPad, phone, access to strange people that are dangerous. We were the ones that paid for them to come into our home. People who don't have values. This 21st century beliefs and values we're complaining about, like baby mama, like homosexuality, drugs, get rich quick, which are full of Panadol and tramadol that killing some things in our children. We paid them to come into our home. By not receiving what we expose our children to. So you can see that going to the 21st century parenting now.
Yes, ma'am.
All of such, any system we want to put in place must be proved and trusted. Because I can't say don't go out to work. I can't say don't go and do anything. But then, those children are priority, especially the formative years. When there's a time for them to be protected, there's a time for them to be hidden, there's a time for them not to get exposed. I can't say year-old was given a phone, no restriction. He became a sexual addict. He was raping. He was addicted to pornography. And it started from that phone. So it's easy to say, no, I didn't give my child a tramadol. But like all these examples I'm giving, and I thank God for stories in the Bible. Even if they are fiction, even if they are real. God has laid down principles for us that are ways of handling. Let me tell you something. So what? It's
Yes,
not about 21st century because the principles are the same.
Okay.
It's just that the method has to change because it's no longer business as usual.
As usual.
Because in my own day, there was no social media.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, we didn't have access to all these things. But my darling, integrity is still integrity. Godly character is still godly character. They have not changed. Kindness is still kindness. Ability to be content is still the same. It's just that the method and approach of doing this thing has to change. And that's why in this 21st century, as parents, we must be proactive. We must be deliberate. We must be intentional in whatever we're doing in parenting our children. What are we talking about? You said 21st century is rotten, it's bad. A lot of things have changed. But in our own days, we had our own challenges too. There's no season, there's no time that we have in our own challenges and vices. But you train those students, let them practice match the game that is outside there. You want, it is like, you know, what is the marketplace as you are putting those children out, as they are going to school, back to nursery school, you know those things are there, those drugs are there, all those things, bad friends are there, bad friends are there. But, so let's say basketball, they are meant to go and play outside. But you are preparing them at home to play table tennis. There's no way they practice at home and in church table tennis. There's no way, no matter how good they are in table tennis, when they get out there, they will floor them. When it comes to basketball. So one of the number one principle which God has ordained in Deuteronomy 6:6-7, go and read it, is teach. We must teach everything. We must be very, very deliberate in teaching. You know, God says, put it on your doorpost. When they wake up, teach them. When they lie down, teach them. You know, when you are doing this, talk to them about it. You want them to uphold integrity. Show it another way. Another principle is mentoring. You must model what you want to see in your children. You must model it. If we don't model it, we will not see. It's not about talking. You must walk your talk. You want them to love, you want them not to gossip, you want them to be truthful and honest. You must show all those things. So, you know, we have failed to protect them. That's what is happening. As parents, we fail to protect and hide our children when they're supposed to be hidden. We have exposed them too much early. You know, like the Bible says in Exodus 2, it said when Moses will no longer be hidden, the mother now put him in the night. So there's a time of nurturing, of weeding around our children. There's a time to protect them. They are formative years to ensure that everything they are coming in contact with, you are a watchman. That's one of your job description. That's what the Bible says, that except the Lord build the house, those who build it, they go in vain. Except the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen in vain. You must involve God. We can't take God out of this equation. Many people are taking God out of this equation. Another principle is that we must involve God. Because there's no system, there's no season that can checkmate God. They cannot fight under God. We're receiving your counsel, your direction from God. And another thing is that you must surround these children with a community that believe in what they believe in that same principle. You see, I'm always very sad because what makes up a child is not just academics.
Yes.
We parents today, we are so much focusing on physical development, emotional development, academically development, social development. We take them to parties, we dress them up, we organize parties for them. But the Bible says Jesus increased in wisdom, in stature, in favor with God and men. That's the balanced one. We are not investing the spiritual aspect of our children. We're not investing in them understanding. See, number one crisis of teenagers today is identity. They are asking, who am I? We have not nurtured them. Who told Moses that he is an eagle? He knew that he had identity. These 3 Hebrew children, they were teenagers in that land when he faced the Canadians. They knew their identity. That as Christians, we're not supposed to bow to our God. As Jews, know, I love what my niece did once, and when her children were celebrating birthday, they were twins. They didn't open the birthday gift that day. He made them open the birthday gift days later. You are intentionally teaching how to delay gratification. Because what if you don't get money, hide your face. If you don't get money, wait till you get. Some are saying the wrong thing. But if you have done your homework when at home, why are we blaming the system? You know, when we have not done our job. We have not done, you know, and like I said earlier, a lot of us are daily giving our children tramadol. We have brought those things into our homes, all in the name of anti-justice, all in the name of we know what is going on, affluence.
Civilization.
We need to stop and think about what we are doing. Are we guilty? Or even worse than what she has done?
Yes.
And like I said earlier, the major thing is parenting is about being present. If we're not present, you just have to find a way of being in the life of your children.
Thank you, Ma.
Nobody can be as easy as God as a parent.
All right.
Thank you, Ma.
That it used to come down in the cool of the day. Look at Adam.
Thank you very much, Ma. Hello, Ma. All right, thank you for you really taking me up from all these points. But what I want to ask now, can we say that in this 21st century parenting, that parents are not ready to take up their responsibilities?
Did you get the question, Ma?
Can we say parents are not ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in a way, because some are even ignorant. Like I said earlier, many parents don't even know what they have signed up for. So we need to take it from there. There should be a lot of education, retraining, learning, unlearning, and relearning. A lot of updating. They don't understand what they are in for. Many percentage don't understand. They just think it's all about having children, sending them to school, make sure they have good housing,
Pay their school fees.
take them to school. Hey, after all, they will not suffer for me. I suffer, my children will not suffer. And I have to provide
Everything.
There's lack of discipline, you know, and all that. So, in a way, many parents don't know what they signed up for. So we need to take it up from there. There should be a kind of, we need to reorientate our parents to understand that. I'm glad. Like I know a Christian that started the parenting school, and it's simply that all the parents of the children in that school attend the parenting school. I'm also on the faculty of that school where they teach the things, and we've been having testimonies. We're having testimonies of the change. So that's what I would say to that.
Okay, Ma. Thank you very much. You agree with me that parenting has to do with a whole lot of emotional intelligence, especially yes. Okay, yes, and you know, when we talk about this emotional intelligence now, there's a time you say, okay, this child, I won't want to hit him so much. Using my son, for example, my first son, the way, the manner at which he was given birth to, you know, at the time my wife would say, I thought you said we are not going to be beating this child, but now I end up beating him because he does some things that are not really good and all that. First of all, when you talk about that emotional intelligence, where do we draw the line as parents so that we know that yes, this is enough of hitting, it's time to talk and the likes of them, and try to I will balance the equation. Then secondly, the issue of friendship, I know it's very important in parenting. We have had a whole lot of we've seen a lot of situations whereby young ones, teenagers, they are not free with their parents, and we hear that this my parent, my father, my mother is a disciplinarian, is godly, we are churchy people, we are born again parents, but at the same time the child ends up doing something wrong outside, and they don't even have that friendship with their children. The friendship that the children eventually get, they get it outside, which later ruin them. So how do parents actually balance all this equation of knowing how to discipline, to get the friendship from a child, and have this emotional intelligence we are talking about?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. You see, we can't rule out discipline in parenting. In fact,
very important.
It's part of parenting. It's part of parenting. But the mistake we made as parents is that we made our children. That's where emotionally, this emotional intelligence you're talking about, a lot of us are people made a mistake. We made our parents as our children to believe that discipline is a punishment.
Okay.
That is a form of punishment. Discipline is an act of love. It's an act of love. And it's better that the children realize that. For example, when my children were very young and they need to please them, there's time to please. It's all the time to please. And they need to please them. Okay, before I look at see, at home, you need to set rules. You need to set boundaries.
Okay.
That's also part of emotional intelligence. As the child is growing up, set rules together with the child. Set boundaries. Let them understand why rules together. Why we are putting these rules and this boundary. It's a children question when they don't understand when some things are put in place. Don't put your hand in fire because it's burns. And when it burns, it deforms you, it gives you pain. That's why I'm saying don't put your hand in fire. So then if you come with that boundaries together, you also come up with consequences. So when you put your hand in fire, we agree that, apart from you being burned, because you're disobedient. So what do you think we should do? I should do to you when you're disobedient? Many things, either I spank you, or or maybe one of those things you like you don't get your favors that you're supposed to get. And part of emotional, so when you are younger, that child already knows, that this is coming from the act of love. And also part of emotional intelligence, where we are missing out also is that, we are very fast at condemning, at punishing, but we are very slow at rewarding. So if the child brings something and you ask the child to book this thing and the child says, I did, do you reward? Do you reward that honesty? You need to begin to reward that honesty. For that child being honest, people don't repeat each other. Okay, I will see that consequence, but for being honest, you also have this reward. Do you understand? So let me go back to my own. So like when I was my children, were at that age when I picked them, and made them to understand right from the beginning that any time I have to spank you, know that it's for your own good. And like I said, we have to be intentional. We have to be really creative. We have to be really, really strategic. Like plants, I think that, when a plant grows wild, if you don't trim it, if you don't take the thorns out, if you don't cut it, it will go wild, it will not be fine. It will look ugly. Like when we have a plant in our compound, when we cut it, it's very beautiful. When it grows wild, so it's allowed to go wild. It's very ugly. It's not beautiful to people. So that's what I'm doing to you. By spanking you, by correcting you, is to make sure you turn out well. It's to make sure that all those wildness will train it so that they will be beautiful. So when I train my children, and be sure when you want to spank, when there's an age you don't spank, that age you spank, when you want to spank, if you say I'm giving you 2 strokes of cane, make sure you calm down before you spank also. Don't spank your children out of annoyance. If you're angry, calm down before you spank. You don't spank to hurt. Spank to mold. So when I spank, if I'm giving you 2 strokes of cane, I give them that 2 strokes carefully. And I train my children. Once we're done, we are look back. They will kneel down, start hitting them. They will kneel down and thank me.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how
That is it. Yes.
Thank you for killing me. I was
Exactly.
thanking me. She said, because what have Uncle made me grow wild?
Okay.
So helping me to trim up so that I will appear beautiful.
All right.
Then, and I won't do this again, then I will hug them. So did you understand that? And how
Yes.
come to place?
All right.
So some of us want to be no, calm down now. Calm down. And explain, talk to them, let them understand. That's how you do it, let them understand. And there are course, you're actually It's a consequences of action.
Of action, yes.
They don't do things. They don't know there are consequences of every action. Then concerning friendship, see, there are another 24th century thing that we need to strive is to be friends with our children. I am thanking the Most High God who has made me to understand this. Call any of my children and ask them, who is your best friend? So we need to be first. Because I don't come from that high court. Because a lot of us parents, we say, no, how can I be friends? You can be friends and the same can be firm. SS, friend and friend. After all, Jesus called us his friends. Is your so people think being disrespectful by saying, I'm my children's friend, but they know when I'm human, they know when I'm firm. And I said, even as a friend, I tell you, don't do that. You know when you don't do that. But his friend loves. A friend does not condemn. A friend does not judge. You can be who you are before your friends. We don't pretend. My children can tell me anything and everything.
Okay.
Even their mistakes. Because even sometimes because I let them go when I make mistakes also. I don't hide myself. I'm not like all those parents. We all came first when we were in school.
Oh.
So, I let them know. Like, one time my child asked me, are you ever afraid? I told her, yes, I'm afraid. You tell your children, hey, they're afraid. I think why is that afraid of cockroach? I think, no, I think I'm afraid. But the difference is, I've given my fear to Jesus. I do the thing, give it to God. He will help me to handle it. So, I'm the minister of God. How can I be afraid? I don't fear any fear.
Thank you, Ma. Mrs. Gemi Agbato. Thank you, Ma. You've really said a lot. Seriously, it's we are really out of time, but it's just like we should just continue to listen because you are really educating us. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay, maybe next time we still need to bring you back. You still tell us more about parenting because it is very, very important. All right. Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Ma.
Okay, let me sign up with this. Parenting has a lot to do. A lot.
Okay.
There's a lot to do with parenting.
All right.
A lot.
All right.
It's an acronym. A is for asking. Ask questions.
Okay.
That's what you're asking for. 24th century.
All right. Okay.
Okay. A, ask questions.
Ask.
L, listen.
Okay.
Make sure you listen to your children.
All right. All right.
Observer. Talk. Indicate.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much. I love that acronym. A lot. A-L-O-T. Thank you very much, Ma. So this is how far we can go on today's program. I hope parents at home, you've been able to learn one or two things from our guest this morning. So don't forget to watch the repeat broadcast at 10 p.m. I will be giving you fresh episode tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Do have a fabulous day. Bye for now.